Welcome back to Soundscape, where music meets meaning, and every song has a story. Today, we're checking into one of the most mysterious, most debated, and most iconic songs ever written. It's a track filled with haunting symbolism, poetic lyrics, and a guitar solo that didn't just define an era, it became a legend in its own right. This is the story behind Hotel California by the Eagles. So settle in, because this one feels like stepping into a dream you can't quite escape. To truly understand Hotel California, we have to travel back to the mid-1970s. The Eagles, composed of Glenn Frey, Don Henley, Bernie Leadon, Randy Meisner, and later, Don Felder, Joe Walsh, and Timothy B. Schmidt, were not just a band, they were a phenomenon. With hits like Take It Easy, Desperado, and One of These Nights, they had perfected a blend of country, folk, and rock that captured the sound of America. They were the kings of the West Coast, living the life that so many dreamed of. Sun-soaked days, sold-out stadiums, and endless creative freedom. But as we all know, with great success comes great pressure. The California dream that they were selling to the world had a shadow side. The glamour of Hollywood, the endless parties, the temptations that came with fame and fortune. It all started to take a toll. This wasn't just about making music anymore. It was about surviving the industry. Don Henley once described the song as a commentary on the journey from innocence to experience, and that's the perfect lens through which to view Hotel California. It's not just a song, it's a feeling, a snapshot of a specific time and place. The band had moved to Los Angeles, chasing their musical ambitions, and found themselves in the epicenter of excess. They were observing the high life, the self-destruction, and the superficiality that permeated the culture around them. The song was their way of processing it, of holding up a mirror to the very world that had made them famous. It was conceived as a cinematic piece, almost like an episode of The Twilight Zone, where things aren't quite what they seem. Don Felder wrote the initial instrumental melody, a beautiful but slightly ominous tune that felt like driving through the desert. When he played it for Henley and Frey, they knew it was special. It had the weight, the mood, and the mystery they were looking for. All it needed was a story. And what a story it is. The song opens with one of the most vivid scenes in music history. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas, rising up through the air. Instantly, you're there. You're the traveler, tired and alone, looking for a place to rest for the night. The road is long, the world is quiet, and then a shimmering light appears in the distance. The traveler's head grows heavy. His sight grows dim. He needs to stop. He sees it, a hotel, beckoning him. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. The imagery is brilliant. The mission bell suggests something sacred, a sanctuary. But the line itself is filled with doubt. Is this a place of salvation or damnation? The she who welcomes him is just as ambiguous. A beautiful host, a siren, a temptress. She lights a candle and shows him the way, leading him down the corridor. There are voices he thinks he hears them say, "Welcome to the Hotel California." From the moment he steps inside, the world starts to warp. The place is luxurious, inviting, filled with beautiful people. Her mind is Tiffany twisted. She got the Mercedes-Benz. She got a lot of pretty boys that she calls friends. This line paints a perfect picture of the LA elite, obsessed with brand names, status, and appearances. The wordplay is genius. Tiffany twisted suggests a mind warped by luxury, while Mercedes-Benz brilliantly combines the status symbol of a car with the Benz, a painful condition caused by rising to the surface too quickly. It's a metaphor for the rapid, disorienting rise to fame and wealth. The hotel seems to have everything you could ever want. There's dancing in the courtyard, summer sweat, some dance to remember, some dance to forget. It's a party that never ends. But look closer. The longer the traveler stays, the more he realizes something is profoundly wrong with this paradise. This is where the song's rich symbolism truly unfolds. The hotel isn't a physical place. It's a state of mind. It's the music industry. It's Hollywood. It's the seductive nature of addiction and the dark side of the American dream. The narrator calls for the captain, asking for his wine. The reply? We haven't had that spirit here since 1969. This line is one of the most analyzed in rock history. 1969 is often seen as the end of an era, the end of the free-loving, idealistic 60s, marked by events like Woodstock and its darker counterpart, the Altamont concert. That spirit represents innocence, authenticity, and the genuine idealism of the counterculture, which by the mid-70s had been replaced by corporate rock, cynicism, and excess. The hotel's wine cellar is empty of that old spirit. Now it's all about commercialism and manufactured pleasure. The clues keep coming. The voices that echo down the corridor, waking him in the middle of the night. He looks out to the courtyard and sees them gathered for the feast. But when they go to kill the beast, they just can't kill it. What is this beast? It's the addiction, the hedonism, the dark impulse that everyone is trying to satisfy but can never truly conquer. They stab at it with their steely knives, but it's immortal. This imagery is chilling. It speaks to the futility of fighting your inner demons when you're trapped in an environment that constantly feeds them. The hotel itself is the beast, and its guests are complicit in their own entrapment. And then comes the song's most iconic, most haunting line. The nightman tells him, "You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave." This is the thesis statement of the entire song. You can physically leave the party, the city, the lifestyle. You can try to quit the substance, but the psychological and emotional grip is permanent. The experience changes you. The memories, the temptations, the knowledge of what you've done and seen, that stays with you forever. It's a beautiful prison of your own making. Just when you think the lyrical journey has reached its peak, the music takes over. The final 2 minutes of Hotel California are dedicated to one of the greatest guitar solos of all time. It's not just a solo, it's a narrative, a dramatic duel between Don Felder and Joe Walsh. Their guitars are having a conversation, or rather, an argument. They weave in and out of each other, one crying out with desperation, the other answering with a kind of defiant acceptance. You can hear the traveler's panic. He's running down the corridor looking for the passage back to the place he was before. He's trying to escape. The guitars climb higher and higher, a flurry of notes that feel like a desperate struggle for freedom. But the solo doesn't resolve in a triumphant, happy way. Instead, it slowly fades out, leaving you with a sense of unease. The chase is endless. The escape is never successful. The song ends, but the story doesn't. You're left right there with him, trapped in the hotel, the final notes echoing in the hallway. It's a masterful piece of musical storytelling, perfectly capturing the song's theme of inescapable fate. Over the decades, the myth of Hotel California has grown even larger than the song itself. The ambiguity of the lyrics has led to countless theories. Some said it was about a real haunted hotel in Baja California. Others were convinced it was a secret ode to Satanism, pointing to the line about the beast they can't kill. A popular theory was that it was about a mental institution. The truth, as confirmed by the band members themselves, is both simpler and more profound. It's a metaphor. It's an allegory for the dark side of the American dream, specifically the hedonism and excess they witnessed in the Los Angeles music scene. Glenn Frey called it a journey from innocence to experience, and that's what it is. A cautionary tale wrapped in beautiful, haunting poetry. It's about realizing that the paradise you've been chasing is actually a gilded cage. It's about the loss of innocence and the difficult truth that some choices once made can never be undone. Hotel California is more than just a song. It's a cultural landmark. It's an experience, a story, and a mirror held up to the darker corners of fame and desire. It captured a moment in time so perfectly that it has become timeless. So, next time you hear that iconic opening riff, listen a little closer. You're not just hearing a song, you're checking into a story. Now I want to hear from you. What does the Hotel California represent in your mind? Is it fame, addiction, or something else entirely? Share your interpretation in the comments below. I read all of them, and I'd love to hear your take. If you enjoyed this deep dive, Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Soundscape, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another story behind the music. Thanks for watching.